creation of the Food Literacy for All class at U of M really was a group effort and several years in the making. When I moved to Michigan, I was living in the Bay Area in California, and I had been attending a similar course at UC Berkeley. And I attended the course as a community member, and I really became fascinated in the culture of food and eating and how the way that we eat might affect health outcomes. And the deeper that I got into this idea about our culture and our food, it just sort of spiraled into becoming interested in all different parts of the food system.
Being at MSU, I teach a course entitled an African American African Studies course entitled the Black Girl Land Project. And so over the past 2 years, students seem to be drawn to the course specifically because of its interest in Black land and Black food sovereignty. And so this semester, I took an opportunity to actually think about how we could continue the connection. So when the Food Literacy for All course brought in Dara Cooper as a speaker, some of my students and I traveled to Ann Arbor to attend the course and be in the physical conversation. And so this year, it seemed as though there were more community members who were interested in attending. And so we decided that we would actually have an on campus live stream because students were interested in Leah Penniman's work. And I know that there were individuals in Lansing who are also very interested in Leah Penniman's work, who did the author of Farming While Black.
Dr. Tamara Butler is the one who reached out to us first. She sent an email to everyone at the center asking about partnering to offer a live stream or some sort of opportunity for her students to connect with Leah Penniman of Soulfire Farm. So Leah was coming to Michigan early in March to both come to a local food summit and to speak for the Food Literacy for All course. So we were kind of exploring a couple different opportunities where we might be able to connect her students and people in our community who we work with at the Center for Regional Food Systems with Leah.
Really, we got the idea to expand the course because people were reaching out to us from across the state, and we've had people reach out to us from across the country too who are interested in being involved in the course. And sometimes we've gotten emails from people across the country who want to live stream the course or they want to host an event around the course. And we decided that for our purposes, we wanted to start with our local partners first.
I became interested in food literacy for all when Lily Fink Shapiro reached out to me May of last year. And having the opportunity to not only have a public health presence in the leadership of the course, but to be able to think about ways to bring in speakers from all sorts of food and social justice perspectives was really appealing to me. Being relatively new to Michigan and being a native Californian, I still felt like I had a lot to learn about the rich food scene that was happening in Detroit and in other parts of Michigan, and also a way for me to insert more of a health perspective into the Food Literacy for All course this past semester.
I had followed the work of the Sustainable Food Systems Initiative at Michigan. I was very excited about the idea of a community academic partnership that would facilitate and promote conversations about big, complicated issues in our food system. After I moved to Kalamazoo, I stayed in touch with the organizers of the Sustainable Food Systems Initiative and the Food Literacy for All program and watched the videos from a distance whenever I could, and I actually participated as a speaker in 2018. So when Lily approached me with the idea of having a satellite location for the course, I jumped at the opportunity. I was so excited to bring these conversations to Kalamazoo.
So live streaming worked really well for us. We worked with Michigan Media, and luckily we were able to sneak in all 4 of our live stream sessions before the class went online due to COVID. The technology was really smooth. we were hearing from our partners in both places that the sound quality was good. One of the coolest parts was that we would get to welcome, at the beginning of class, we would welcome our viewers in Kalamazoo or East Lansing.
It was really exciting when there were opportunities where the host of the Food Literacy for All was, as well as the lecturer themselves, would say, you know, we have people tuning in from Michigan State. And so there was this kind of like cheering and acknowledgement and rupture in the room where people are like, oh, we're not just tuning in, but people actually know that we're here and are ready to address us and willing to listen to us.
People in Kalamazoo who attended these lectures were so excited to be part of a larger conversation about food systems and be exposed to what's going on in other parts of the state and other parts of the country.
One of the challenges that we did face was some of the audio difficulties were one of the challenges that we faced. We did miss some of the beginning of the talk, but we were concerned that it would continue throughout the rest of the live stream, but it was pretty short-lived and we were able to hear most of her presentation.
When we have these high quality lectures and high quality educational content, making it available to as many people as possible, you know, beyond the ivory tower of the university. And I think we were able to do that in part because of this expansion. And even since the course ended, I've had several community members have reached out to me and they share their experience about how powerful the course is. And they've also asked, they said, hey, do you know of any other courses at the university that are available to me? You know, these are just curious people who want to keep learning.
It really shows that we're all connected through our interest in food. And I would love to see more partnerships, maybe even more collaborations when we're planning the next iteration of this course in terms of what topics, what speakers to include, and hopefully continue to grow our audience.
This kind of community building is possible. And so my hope is that we'll continue to partner, to find partners, to allow people to see that they can be their own liaisons between institutions and between communities.
I had a great experience working with the Center for Academic Innovation. It was really helpful to have our contacts helping to just think through all the details of the collaboration and have suggestions for technology for the Q&A and for live stream. And actually even maybe most helpful is beyond this initial pilot phase is just having brainstorming partners try to think about the future of these collaborations and the future of expanding this course. So things that we haven't even put in place yet, but we're talking about in terms of more formal collaborations with other campuses, what might be possible. So it's really given us a lot of ideas for next year. We'll see, depending on the COVID-19 situation.
And I don't know what's going to happen next year, but I anticipate that any challenges that come our way with COVID or with trying to expand our project, our team is resilient and will continue to find ways to disseminate the information to connect people across these important food and nutrition issues. And I'm confident that our program will continue to reach large audiences in whatever format we're able to provide.